cover three match. This is a defense I've been noticing more and more people run in online head-to-head, giving me a lot of trouble. I'm assuming it's giving other people a lot of trouble, or they wouldn't all be running it. It gave me so much trouble, in fact, that I went into practice mode to try to find some concepts, some ideas on how to beat it, and that is what we are going to go over here today. I'm going to use Colorado State in their playbook just because they are next on the campus tour, but a lot of the concepts, a lot of the ideas that we're going to go over, you can run in any playbook. I'm pretty sure every playbook in the game has versions of trips. That is what we are going to do. Because really the best way, the main takeaway here is going to be overload their coverage. Put the defense in conflict, have too many things going on one side that the match coverage isn't going to know what to do. We'll go against Alabama just in practice mode here. We'll do skill level All-American, and I think that's a good just kind of base level for us to do this at. Let's get to it. So we got a few different formations we are going to go over here. Well, like I said, they're all going to be versions of trips because they're all going to work pretty similarly. I will try to explain why I think they're getting open. I am no expert in match coverage or anything, but we have found a good little base of plays for us to go off of. So why off trips is going to be our first formation in this play. Curls is one of the best cover three match beaters I have seen. This play is fantastic. So I'll try my best to explain why. We'll put them in over G. Cover three match, and here we go. I will respot the ball actually because we have a few plays that hopefully are going to work as deep bombs here for us, including curls, this one right here. But first, we're actually not going to look at the bomb. We are going to look at the tight end flat, which is also going to get wide open. Why is that? Well, our B receivers on a deeper curl route, that deep third over the top of him there registers that as a vertical route, so he is going to stay on that. The purple route over the purple zone over RB, the slot corner is on here, notices B is on a vertical route, so he's got to take RB vertical as well. The hook zone, which is the HBM, I'm going to try to put the play art of this on the screen here so you guys can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. He is going to, it looks like he's going to come down and play that flat, but then when he notices RB on his route, he's actually going to stick on RB, leaving nobody to guard the flat, leaving the tight end wide open. You can see exactly what we were talking about there. I'll pop up the instant replay here too, so we can see a little bit better of what I was talking about. But because our outside receiver on the right here is going vertical, this outside corner on his deep third is responsible for that. Because 0 then is going vertical, this purple zone is responsible for that. So at the snap, he's going to follow this. Now this hook looks like he's going out to that tight end, but then he notices, oh, this guy is actually kind of on a post going back to the middle of the field. I need to go guard that. But by then, the purple zone is off in no man's land. The hook's out of place, leaving our tight end flat wide open. So this is a concept we're going to see in a few different formations, a few different ways. We're also going to be keeping these very, very simple, by the way. I'm not going to even do any hot routes on any plays. We're just going to let these rock as is and just show you there's a lot of good just stock plays you can call, even if you're dealing with stadium pulse or anything like that, that can beat cover three match. But our other option on this play is a potential touchdown to that deep post. We saw how that hook reacted to it. He is a step behind it, a step slow. Same thing is going to happen to the middle third, which is our safety on the top right there. And because of the curl routes that B and X are on, those are going to keep those outside thirds down at, what are those, like 12 yards? And it's going to leave that post deep over the middle. As long as we have time to throw this, which against Alabama, I'm not sure we will. We do indeed. Just pass lead that to the left. That deep middle third is slow to react because it looks like that hook's carrying him for a while. The hook drops back. The middle third is out of position. We can pass lead that to the left, get a touchdown on our deep post. Easy peasy. Just like that. Now this quarterback is going to miss a few throws. There's no accounting for that. But again, we'll just hop into instant replay really, really quick here. We're not going to do this for every play, just for kind of our first time going over these concepts. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff, the flats or the deep posts, crossers, those kind of things. But our receiver over here is going to run this curl route. Right, the deep blue is going to stay on that because he went vertical. There's only one route on this side, so actually the purple route, or purple zone, I keep saying purple route. The purple zone stays down on this as well, where our post over here this gentleman, number 0. We see their number 0, very slow, late to react on that, totally out of the way, out of position. This other hook, this route now is too deep, he is not going to pick it up. This outside, the middle third picks up on it a little too late and leaves this great big open space for us to throw this ball. Very easy, very simple. Curls, fantastic play against cover 3 match. But we have a lot of similar plays running similar concepts, so you don't need to just stick in curls. You could if you wanted to for the entire game, and I think you would be just fine. But this flood halfback swing is another good one here to beat match. We're not going to have anything deep on this. This is going to be more either the halfback or the tight end. We're kind of reading the hook curl who's got the flame over his head. Most of the time, he's going to sit on that tight end. The deep third on the outside right is going to follow B. Since he's going vertical, the purple zone on the right is going to follow RB. Nobody is going to be there for the halfback. Right? I mean, it's overload the side. Give them too many responsibilities that they can't possibly cover them all is really what this comes down to. I want to see if we can get that hook. I swear I've seen it. Sometimes he will crash down on that running back and it leaves A wide open over the middle. But of course now he's not. He's just backing up. Of course. Once the recording starts, he doesn't want to actually do it. Crash down to the running back, you jerk. Nope, he doesn't. Well, when he doesn't, that makes it pretty easy. But I swear every once in a while, I don't know if it's like a setting, the computer is changing on this or what it is, but every once in a while he will go down and crash towards that halfback, and then we'll leave your tight end open. So we're just watching that guy. If he's staying in the middle, halfback's gonna be wide open. If he's abandoning it, we are gonna have that tight end over the middle. Very simple, very easy, guaranteed yards. That's what we like against cover 3 match. We're really gonna have to be okay with the idea of throwing underneath, and it's not going to be easy to get a bunch of chunk plays and chunk yardages. We're going to take what they're going to give us on a lot of these plays. So those are the 2 out of Y off trips. We also have a couple out of Y off trips a week. One really good play here too. This verticals Y out. Again, just giving them too much to worry about on defense. The deep blue on the outside is going to have to follow B because it's going vertical. The purple is going to have to follow RB at least until he gets up like to that outside or to the middle third, leaving our hook defender on the right to make a choice between the halfback or the tight end. There's one defender trying to guard 2 routes. How do we think that's going to go for him? Because our hook on the left is going to have to be worried about that dig that X is on. So we have one hook defender guarding 2 routes. Usually you're going to have your halfback just like that. Again, halfbacks are so good against match coverage. Really, any halfback route is really good against match coverage. But then again, every once in a while, we'll see if the CPU ever actually does it. That hook is going to come down to your halfback and it's going to leave your tight end behind him for an even bigger play. Let's see. Nah, he just stayed with the tight end that time. They just don't want to cooperate. They don't want to work with me. Come down to the halfback, buddy. Just one time in your life. Okay, see, that time he was. We just didn't really have time to wait. But that time he was actually crashing down on the halfback. We'll just do it on replay because I don't trust them to actually do that again. We can see he's the hook zone following our tight end, crashes down to the halfback, and then we could, since the ball's in the air, already kind of affected how he's reacting. But once you see him crash down to this halfback, you can throw that to your tight end. Going to be absolutely wide open, and we can see how the hook on the left was worried about that deep in. I want to see if we can get it one more time. Yep, there we go. They actually listened that time, and he actually worked with us. He crashes down on that running back, leaves the tight end underneath. I'm curious to see what happens if we take this play and we'll throw one hot route in there. We'll throw a corner route. It should work pretty similarly, but because of where he's breaking on this, I'm curious to see if they react any differently. See, they did that time. So that time the hooks followed. The one hook, because it was a corner route, I'm guessing because he was breaking on that route shorter than he is, on the stock play, he's going vertical and then breaking, versus this one where he's going like 6 yards and then breaking. The hook actually followed that all the way. The other hook picks up the running back, but then that's going to leave the deep dig over the middle of the field. Let's see if that does that consistently. It does, and then there's the dig over the middle of the field. So again, just overloading, clearing out other zones, other matches, and finding the gaps underneath it. That's going to be our main thing we're doing here. So you could hot route that if you want. You could leave it as is. Either way, you're getting people open on that play. Now, a little bit of a different idea here is still in Y off trips week, but this Z under, keep them in cover 3 match. So what's going to happen here is because we have the vertical routes on A and RB, that's going to push all the zones back, and it's going to leave B a soft spot right underneath to be wide open underneath everybody. All the purple zones, the hooks, they're worried about everybody going vertical, so they all have to kind of get out of the way, and then that leaves our little in right underneath. Free 10-yard gain whenever you want to take it against cover 3 match. And you could run this out of a lot of different sets. You might have to hot route it, but as long as you have a vertical route on your tight end and your slot receiver, and then something underneath on your outside guy, it should all work the same. And that is it for Y off trips week. Let's head over more trips formations. Like I said, overloading, staying in trips is going to be your best bet against just about any match coverage, but especially cover 3 match, Trey Open. Let's start off with, I got Y corner written down, and there's a few actually different ones we just passed that we're going to go through, but I have Y corner written down first, so that's where we are going to start. Similar idea here. Even just with that one vertical route on our inside slot receiver, who is our tight end in this formation, is going to clear out everybody and take your pick between RB or B. I want to say the tight end ends up like triple covered here, and everybody else is just wide open. Take the underneath, take the easy yards. That's what we're going to have to do. It's not easy to bomb this kind of match. Well, it's not super difficult, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to consistently have the time to throw these match bombs. So having the opportunity, having these kind of plays where it's just, okay, I need 5 yards. Let's just dump it down underneath. Maybe you can wiggle around, make some big plays happen, but you're guaranteeing yourself a completion and easy yardage with a lot of these plays. And a lot of these underneath kind of plays will work against regular cover 3 too. It's the deeper ones that sometimes don't. But things like that Y corner is going to work against the cover 3 depending on where their user is. Mesh wheel is going to work against match or regular cover 3. We will keep them in match because that is the point of this video. So this, again, just a lot going on the right that is going to put their defense in shambles. They're not going to know where to go. And this wheel route our halfback on is actually pretty important because the 2 zones that are going to be over on the left, the deep blue on the guy above X and the purple, who's the left guy with the flame on his head, are both going to be following that wheel route. That's the only vertical threat going to the left. So they're all going to clear out way back. B is going to be wide open on this once he gets to the left. Or if we have time, that purple route is eventually going to come down to try to guard B, and it's going to leave RB on the left sideline. First, we'll just look at B. And we'll see once he gets over here how he is just literally by himself. A pretty dang easy completion for Colorado State. Now I'm going to see if we have time. I want to show how this reacts and how we can throw this to RB. Try to get a little pocket. I still think that showed what I was talking about. Obviously, having time is going to be a big issue. But this is our purple zone right here on defense. What number is he? Number 21. So he's going to be following the wheel route, right? That's the only vertical thing he's concerned about. We can see from this angle how wide open B is. You could take that every single time if you wanted to. We were just trying to prove a point. And here it comes. Eventually, he notices, hey, there's a guy wide open down here in this flat. I should go get him. And then that's going to leave your RB, your post, once he gets to this left sideline. Of course, we ended up not having the time for it, but still, that showed. Let's see, maybe if we just do base blocking, maybe that'll help a little bit. Have him in base, see if we can get time. Didn't get time, but again, saw how RB was getting wide open there. That's kind of the downside of doing this against a team like Alabama. But that play, you are going to have B every single time. Now, how about we take a look at another potential bomb play here, and Trey Open shakes. Keep them in their cover 3 match. Much like we saw with that curls play from Y off trips, we do have the option of just taking this to the flat. RB is going to be wide open on this flat because that C route that B is on is going to take kind of the deep third and that purple zone and push them back. And we can just snap throw this to RB. He's going to be wide open. Again, easy chunk yards, easy plays, keep the ball moving, keep the sticks moving. But the other thing we have here is our tight end, our inside slot receiver, Mr. Rocky. I think it's Rocky Beers, which is A+ name, just by the way. But again, this one is more dependent on if we have time. That C route on the left is going to keep that outside third occupied. The little flat is going to keep that purple down. The hook in the middle, for whatever reason on this route, doesn't really recognize it. So he's not going to stay and match onto A. It's going to be the hook above him in that deep middle third that again reacts late like we saw on the post. So we'll see if we get time. We'll see if Beers, once he shakes, gets open and secure catch and drops it. But the hook curl does follow him for quite a while, so we do have to wait for that to drop off. But once it does, he can get outside leverage going to the left, and we can pass lead this down into the left. And Rocky Beers, Rocky, we need you to help us out a little bit here, buddy. We need you to hold on to a ball. You're getting open. Just hold on to it. Pass lead down into the left and dropped again. Okay. Well, this is just because we're going against Alabama, so the ball keeps getting knocked out. But he is getting open. Maybe you just wait another second. Hold on to it. There you go. There you go. Just wait another second. That outside third, or that middle third, goodness gracious, just isn't getting over there. Right, we can see, please give me time. Oh my gosh. I saw that rush coming. That one wasn't going well. But the longer we wait, the more open our A receiver gets. Just please, 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 please. So if you can wait long enough, hold on to one ball in your life, Rocky. The longer you wait, the more outside leverage he's going to have on that middle third. Pass lead that to the left. Hopefully you have better luck holding onto the ball than Rocky Beers does. But I still think this is showing, and we still have RB, we still have RB, we still have RB. There you go, Rocky. There you go, Rocky. So yeah, if you have a faster tight end, I think you can get a touchdown on this. If you're going against somebody other than Alabama, you might be able to get a touchdown on that. I think their safeties are pretty good and pretty fast. That's about it for Trey Open. Then we go over to Trey Open offset. This just has the running back on the other side, but because of him being on the other side, things like this motion inside cross, I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with him being on the other side. He could be on the right side. Either way, this running back is going to get wide open on this play because of the vertical threats pushing everybody back. A thing we've seen time and time again. And then we also have the underneath to B, and this could potentially be another touchdown to Ross. First, let's just look at the halfback. He should get out to the right and be all by himself out there. Most certainly is. Can we spin? Can we make a move? Make it do a little dance? Get some extra yardage there. Just nobody can guard the flat because of how this play is set up. Two vertical routes on the right. The underneath to B. Oh, another one. Oh, baby. But because of the routes we have going there on the right, everybody has to get back and respect those. Leaves the underneath, leaves the flat to the halfback. Speaking of the underneath, we're also going to have B wide open on this play for a similar idea that we talked about earlier. Everybody's got to drop back to respect those vertical routes. The outside third's not going to come and match and follow that. And because everybody's getting pushed back, you have B underneath on that. Then we also have a potential bomb here to Ross for similar ideas we have seen. That outside third on the left is occupied, this time by a streak. You could do like a curl or something. As long as it's going 10-ish yards downfield, that should keep that outside third on the left occupied. The other match zones kind of get crisscrossed on what they're doing here because of that scissors concept. The deep middle third is going to be late to react to this, and we should be able to hit Ross, again, depending on time given by our offensive line. There it is. Like we saw in that Shakes play, that hook is going to follow it for a while, but if you get the time to wait and see it, the play kind of develop, eventually that hook drops off. Or is it the purple zone? I think it's the hook. And then that deep middle third is just too late to react, and then we get RB wide open. So it is the hook. They switch, they switch, they switch. He's gone. Hit the post to Mr. Ross. Big chunk plays. Anything that is occupying that third on the left, so the guy over X, and then something crossing over to the other side deep like RB is a great way to try to bomb match coverage. Because if he's going a little more shallow than this, or like maybe even a crosser, I think that purple zone might end up picking up on it. Let's actually test this out while we're here. Why not? Let's see. Okay. Okay, Alabama. But we did see there, even on the crosser, it's not the purple zone, it's the other hook that picks up on that. So having it on a deep post is much, much better because the hook ignores that. Whereas here, we don't need to see me getting sacked here. The other hook is able to pick up on it with it being a crosser. On the post, they do not. Then we can also turn back into a little check down Charlie with a play here like motion Z spot. Again, halfback is going to be open. B is going to be open. Take your pick between the two. Doesn't really matter to me. If you got a more dynamic receiver you want to get it to, you got a more dynamic running back you want to get it to. Either way, they're going to be open on this play. Take your pick. I kind of like this running back, man. I'm kind of liking what we're seeing out of this halfback. One more formation for us to go over here is going to be empty bunch. Now, I know this one's not in a ton of playbooks, but a lot of empty stuff is, and a lot of this stuff should work the same. We'll just start off with Z spot and go. This is an interesting one. Because of this slot fade being on our weak side, both that outside third and the purple zone are going to follow that initially, and this is going to leave X wide open on his little curl route, or we're going to have the flat over on the right. But first, let's just focus on the left and watch how the defense reacts to this little route combo. They both go, they're both gone, hit X, easy yards. Against this kind of defense, we just want all the easy yards we can take. And right, for this play, it's Marshall. Maybe you can break some tackles, make some things happen, but you got a guy wide open on this every single time against cover 3 match. Or we go to the right, and there's our tight end. Easy yards. Easy yards. You can never complain about getting free easy yards on these sorts of plays. Now, what's really going to kill something like this, cover 3 match, is a play like middle cross. This is something you could set up out of pretty much any empty. You just want your 2 verticals on the left side and something threatening the hooks coming from the right. Here we have the crosser on B, the 2 streaks on the left. Winfield is going to be wide open on this play because the hook, the guy with the fire over his head, is going to be concerned about the crosser. The purple zone goes to the outside. Winfield's going to be wide open in the seam here. Bang. Okay, QB, buddy. A little help here would be nice. But right in the seam there, you're going to leave Winfield wide open every single time. Then if his user does want to take the guy with a fire on his head and watch that himself, then that would leave B open coming across here. So you'll have your options kind of depending on what their user likes to do. But your first read right away has got to be that seam here to Winfield. Just bang. Quick, easy, a lot of yards on that one. And you even can just snap throw this to B if you really wanted to, too. You got to throw it a little earlier, but right underneath, right there, you can hit that and get some good yards in there as well. So yeah, that Z spot and go, or middle cross, very, very good. Then a couple different variations of dagger here that work pretty well, too. Again, just think of the concepts and why these things are getting open. We'll start with just regular dagger against cover 3 match. Any drag coming from a spot like Winfield is, or where Beers is, or even where Ross is, people closer to the line of scrimmage, match has a very, very difficult time guarding these. Because they're all concerned about what's going on the other side of the field. Those guys are all gone. Eventually the responsibility drops off, and it's going to leave Winfield kind of just all by himself right underneath the coverage there. Just really any drags. Drags are so good against match. Throw some drags in your life. So we're going to have the drags, or we can potentially hit Beers on this. This one gets a little dicey because the hooks do pick up on it for a second. So you got to really try to time this for when he falls off and try to hit that pocket right there. It's a little dicey, gets a little sketchy, but if you can get the timing of it. See, I threw that one a little too early. That's why I said it's dicey and sketchy. If you throw it a little too early, they're still going to be matching onto it. But eventually he drops off, and you just got to wait for him to take that step down. Which, if you're feeling risky, if you really need like 15, 20 yards in a certain spot, this can work for you. But like I said, it's just you got to wait for him to step down and then try to hit that window. What a play there by Bama. But if your QB airmails one, or if you throw it a little early, that's kind of the risk we're going to take. And the other dagger variation here is going to be Dagger Ohio. This is a very good play here. And for the same reasons we saw that verticals play be so good. The purple zone on our left is going to go outside. The hook is going to be worried about what's going on the right. And that curl route, Winfield is on a choice route here, but he's always going to sit in the curl in this setup, is going to be wide open. Boop, just turn, sit, easy 12 yards, throw into that curl route, and you can potentially get this deep in route B is on. This one's not nearly as consistent. You can see Y is wide open again. Again, just you have to try to hit a very tight window on that one, so I don't love that. It's just depending on how these hooks react. Sometimes they kind of clear out a little bit better. Sometimes they actually match on really well. But it's a tight window throw for sure. But you can just throw RB, you've got Y wide open, you've got B getting open, and I'm curious too. I was thinking of maybe if there's a different hot route we can do to get like Ross, but he's running right into the middle third. If we do like a post on RB, would that get open? I don't know. I'm trying to avoid hot routes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it sure is. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to have to get in and kind of mess around with if you've got certain formations you like. The main things are just to make sure you're overloading a side and keeping the defense busy. Because here, you know, we got the hooks kind of worried about a lot of different things going on here. And I'm wondering too, maybe this is actually going to open up B, but I think that hook on the left might stay. Yeah, so the hook on the left actually matches down on the in route, and that's why it leaves our tight end wide open. So if you do know some hot routes, you can mess around with those a little bit. Just keep in mind about the overloading the defense, give them too much responsibility, put two receivers in spots that only one defender can possibly make a play on. That is going to be your best ways to beat match. Hope this was at least a little bit helpful for you guys. If it was, let me know. Maybe we do this again with cover 4, cover 6, different types of defenses. But yep, hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time. Until then, take it easy.